Great to have you in the studio today with us, Rajeev. You're absolutely an industry veteran in the cloud computing and building the world-class solutions. And I'm super excited today to learn more about Informatica's AI and data strategy and how Snowflake can help with that.
Thanks, Phoebe. Thanks for having me here, and thanks to Snowflake for our partnership. And it's an honor to come here and present.
Great. So to get us started, who are the organizations that are using Informatica? What are the key challenges they're facing?
Today, if you know about any of the large enterprises that you can think about, they use Informatica today for data management, right? Some of the challenges that customers have is as they're moving to the cloud or modernizing to the cloud, one of the first challenges that they have is being able to understand or discover the data that they want to move in, right? Once they discover what the data that they want to bring, then the next challenge comes is, hey, how do I move this data quickly into the cloud and still have my business continuity? So kind of looking at migration or ETL or tools to populate data from various sources into the cloud. Followed by that, once the data is in the cloud now, the next thing is that their importance is about how do I make the data that's in the cloud is kind of according to my standards, right, or my organization standards. So they need to clean the data, right, make that data even more trusted. And now with generative AI coming in, right, it's more and more important for these organizations to be able to ensure that the data is trusted, either for doing fine tuning of the LLM models or for any kind of use cases, especially enterprise specific use cases where they are looking to use generative AI for. How can they trust the data within the enterprise? And then once they have the data, then the next challenge that they have is around security. Where is my PII information, right? What information should I expose as part of my applications to the different data community users within my organization? And then one other challenges that we also see is within, within the organizations, customers have multiple applications, so the data is fragmented across these different applications within the organization. Now, how do I basically bring all that data together? Let's say, hey, if in your, Phoebe may be having different, say, services within a banking organization, and they may be living in different applications. How can I bring all that data together and form a full 360-degree view of what are the services that Phoebe uses in my bank? Or in any organization. So that's where our MDM or our master data management comes into play. And finally, the idea is to empower the data community within the organization to innovate on behalf of the organization, which requires them to kind of easily self-discover the data that's within the organization, and also ensuring that the right people have the right level of access within the organization as well, right? And it doesn't just stop with that, but how do they understand the data more? And where Informatica really differentiates in providing on the Snowflake platform or for the Snowflake customers or for our joint customers is bringing that holistic platform and building an incremental approach. So no matter where they are in their data management journey, they can move from one phase to the other seamlessly. And that's where we differentiate by providing a cohesive and an incremental approach to data management.
Thanks for walking through that. And it's definitely resonating with our other customers facing the challenge of data silo, security, pipeline. So can you give us an overview of Informatica's Intelligent Data Management Cloud?
Sure. The 6 different challenges that I spoke about, from discovering, population, cleansing, securing, master data management, and also doing governance on data within an enterprise, that's where our core stack is. So we are a platform. We are the only company that has a data management platform. And the idea behind that is because enterprises depend on us for doing data management, we need to have the breadth. So we need to have all the capabilities of data management, and at the same time, we need to have those depth in each of these services. So we do have in our IDMC platform, and this is all built ground up. We started 30 years ago. Now as customers were moving to the cloud, we built all of these ground up in order to kind of enable our customers to do modern data management in the cloud. And similar, with Snowflake, we still are a multi-cloud environment where similar to Snowflake, we are on AWS, Azure, GCP, and we do also support OCI as well. But we are in all these clouds, the exact same clouds that Snowflake is on today.
So what are some of the key features provided by Snowflake that really helps to power Informatica's intelligent data cloud?
Some of the key features specifically where we look at is one of the areas that is about bringing that data from various different on-premise and legacy systems into Snowflake, right? So if you look at us, we are kind of the pipe that is kind of think of it like cleansing the data and all of that, and bringing the data into Snowflake for customers to be able to do the analytics. So our integration story kind of plays really well for customers, where they have different transactional systems and various different systems, but then they want to bring that data into Snowflake for being able to do analytics and various other AI-related use cases.
So can you give us an overview of SuperPipe?
Sure, definitely. So let me roll the slides here a bit so you can see what the architecture that we have built together. So to start with SuperPipe, we do have what is called as Informatica Cloud Migration. So as part of that, we kind of evolved that, and this is one of an engineering and technical partnership with Snowflake, where customers can do bidirectional replication at scale and bring data into Snowflake. Like they can bring data from systems like Oracle, SAP, and many other systems that they can bring into the data, and they can do either incremental load or continuous loading so that their business continuity is not affected, or even the initial load, and bring the data into Snowflake. Where we really did the innovation in kind of the Informatica SuperPipe was integration of our CMI technology with Snowpipe streaming, and also leveraging deferred merge. So with this, what we realized was we are bringing data not only up to 3.5x faster than the regular batch load.
That's impressive.
Right. And also what customers can do is, as soon as we're bringing that data, they can actually see the object in near real time. Right?
Wow.
So the latency, since we are bringing it faster, and not only that, they are able to see the data in near real time. And the other part to this is, because we are using deferred merge, so customers can basically define at what interval that they want to merge the data to the target table or persist the data to a target table. So this basically also reduces their overall cost on the entire solution itself, because you're not continuously merging. And not only that, we are able to bring all the enterprise capabilities that we have built with our cloud mass ingestion product into with this SuperPipe capability as well. So customers can leverage schema drifting, they can do soft deletes, object level resync. All those capabilities came in with SuperPipe on the Snowflake platform.
Amazing. So can you walk through into details on the architecture to see how exactly this is working together for us?
Sure. So as you see here, on the left-hand side are the data sources, right? And then what we do is, as data, say if you're doing one-time load, which is initial load, you use what is called the secure agent group. So secure agent group is, think of it like these are the connectors. These are the data processing connectors, and this is running in the execution plane of our environment, and they are bringing data from all of this and then pushing it into Snowpipe streaming, and from there, you can either do CDC or bulk load, and then we are writing it into the view or the target table, right? And the one of the advantage of this particular architecture is also security, right? If you see from here, none of the data flows into Informatica's control plane. It all still stays within the execution plane, and all is contained within the customer's network. So none of the data goes out of the customer's network. Only the metadata, right, with regarding to the table structure, the schema, and everything is what is persisted in the Informatica's control plane.
Sweet.
And that too is protected with encryption, and all of that, so that we can ensure that our customer's data is also secure.
So Informatica is definitely one of the pioneers to adopt Snowflake native app. So you guys has been enrolled since our PR in our summit 2 years ago. So what is the relation with SuperPipe and Snowflake native app?
Thanks for asking. So we took all of these learnings right? And and we saw that there was a good demand for this with our customers, because our customers were looking at, hey, this is giving, and there's a lot of benefit to our customer getting. No customer wants to say, hey, we want our data to come in slow, right? They want data to be faster, and we're making it faster and faster. So we thought, how do we take this exact same capability and kind of have a native integration so that we can meet the Snowflake customers, like who may not be Informatica customers, in what they are used to. So that's where we built this native integration. So now with Informatica's enterprise data integrator, Snowflake customers can basically download this native app directly from the Snowflake marketplace, right?
Into their own account.
And install it in their own account with a few clicks.
Yep.
And then be able to leverage the exact same enterprise capability that we built with SuperPipe, right? So that they don't have to leave the Snowflake environment at all.
Fantastic. So what is the name of that Snowflake native app?
It's called the Enterprise Data Integrator.
Can we see a demo of it?
Sure. Let's roll. So here, as part of the demo, what I have is the source, which I'm using Oracle. So I'm going to bring data as part of this demo from Oracle, and we are going to ingest the data in near real time.
And this is Oracle database.
This is an Oracle database.
And already in SQL format.
And it's already in SQL format.
Got it.
And now this is running on-prem. And now we are going to bring this data from there into Snowflake, right? So this is, as you can see here, this is the data that's in my Oracle table, right? And then also, I'm going to ingest some rows into the Oracle table. And you will see that propagate on the other side. But before we do that, let's go and look at how do we create a replication task. All right. So I'm going to come in here, and this is all the apps that I have. And now I've already downloaded or installed the EDI app from the marketplace. Already done that. And this is my app that I have. So now it's already installed. I'm initiating the app now here, right? And this app is basically going and getting all the replication tasks that I've already created, getting all the status and everything, right? And customers, when they come into the app, what they can do is they will first go ahead and create a Snowflake connection, right? So this is the target connection that they have basically put. So where they're going to define, hey, the username, password, what database that they want to write to, or what Snowflake database or table that they want to write to. And so now they have defined that, right? Then it's also super simple. I was talking about those agents, right?
Yeah.
Which are kind of the data processors and which do the connectivity from the source to the target and move the data from the source to the target. So they can come in here and basically manage their agents or configure their agents in here in a super simple way. They just have to add it and it gets added, right? Now let's look at how to create a replication task. Right? So this replication task is nothing but what you're doing here is you're basically configuring the task that's going to move the data continuously. You can do incremental loads, continuous loads. And how do you move the data from Oracle to Snowflake, right? So let's give the task a name, right? Let's call this demo, right? Replication task, Oracle to Snowflake, right? And then, they can give a description. Hey, this is a demo task for replication. Then here, you can choose whether you want to do initial load. That means it's a one-time load, because sometimes customers just want to do a one-time load, or they could do an initial or an incremental load, right? So I'm going to select both here.
So it's capturing the bulk or the CDC part.
Correct. If the data is already exist in that database, so it's going to bring the data, all the data first, and then it keeps running, so that now whenever you write data to your source, it's going to write it to the target as well, right? So there's no loss in business continuity.
Love it.
Right. And then today we do have 2 connectors. Again, we are looking to expand these more, right? And then, so now I have chosen. So now once I chose what connector type I want, you can see here that the different instance or the different properties of the database or the source. Here I'm configuring the source, the different properties. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in the username and password here, right? That's my source. and I'm going to give the service name. So all I'm doing here is basically configuring all the the service names and all of it.
Yeah, that's a familiar part because I was working at Oracle before to see the database part. Yeah.
And these are all Oracle properties. So
Yeah.
we do have a bunch of properties because so that customers can use multiple modalities to bring
And
in
it's
the
all
data.
pre-configured.
Yes. And as you can see here, there is no code at all, right?
Yeah.
It's all no code, low code, right? Or actually no code,
No code.
right? And now I'm going to go ahead and test the connection. So this way, they can also verify that if I'm able to connect to the source, right? And once they connect to the source, now it'll basically be going, so it's all the way. So you can see here that the connection is successful now, right? And now it's bringing in all, so this table has thousands of schemas and tables. So it's now loading all of that and bringing all that information within the native app itself to say, hey, here are the schemas that exist within the within the native app and all of that, right?
Totally.
So now I'm going to go ahead and look at the schema. I'm going to select the schema here, right? Once I select the schema, it basically gives me whether, again, customers can bring in all the objects into the schema, or they can also select that they want to bring.
Got it.
Right? And then, we do have search capabilities and everything. So now you can see here, I can go ahead and search. So the table that I want to bring in is called demo sales. And that's the data that I want to bring. So I can now even, sometimes we work with large enterprise customers. They have thousands of tables, thousands of this is one. So this is where, we look at, hey, we provide those kind of search capabilities and everything, so it's easy for them to find. I think I was talking about the deferred merge technology, right? I want to kind of little bit dive deep into that. So what happens is when the secure agent under EDI writes to it doesn't write to the target table, the table that you want to take the data to.
Yep.
It basically writes to a Snowflake view, and then that view is then at a certain interval, based on the deferred merge interval that you specify, it'll write it to the target table.
Got it.
Right? So this basically gives the customers that if they know, hey, I'm going to get data, my CDC or the rate at which I get my data usually is within this interval, then they can actually optimize for that so that they are not always, so it's not like every row you write is constantly writing to it. Okay. So that way the computational efficiency is maintained, and also it may lower the TCO for them.
Love it.
Right? So here, as you can see here, I specified the deferred merge interval to be 300. Right? Now I'm going to go ahead and configure
and that's
the
300
data.
seconds?
That's 300 seconds.
Got it.
Right? Every 300 seconds, it'll go and merge. Customers, if their data rate is slower, they can even specify a larger number. Right?
Got it.
And now I'm going to go ahead and give the schema name. Say I'm going to say, hey, demo test. Right? I'm not going to run this. I'm just going to save this task because I've already created a task that I already have, right, for the purpose of the demo. And once I save this, so now all of this is basically saved. So now you can see that, and then once the customer says run, the task gets deployed. And all of these tasks gets deployed within the secure agent. So it's saved now, right? So I'm going to go back. I've configured everything, right? And if I go back to the main window, you will see that the demo RT Oracle SF is being published, right? Okay, you can see here the task is here. It's a valid task, right? And then as soon as you start deploying it, you can go ahead and deploy it. You can edit it and all of that. But I do already have a task that I've already created for this, and it's already deployed and running, right? And it's a one-time thing. So you created the task once, and it's already deployed, right? So now also let's look at what is in the target table, right? So this is the target table that the task is replicating to, right? And it has about, you can see here, it has 19 records, right? And then you also can see that, this is all the data that it has. So what is the base? The base is the target table. I was talking about deferred merge, right?
Yep.
So the view, this is the view table that it's or the Snowflake view that it's writing to. And then the base table is basically the target table. So whenever I query, if I query against the view, it merges the data. This is Snowflake deferred merge. It merges the data between the view and the target and brings me the data in near real time. So I'm able to get all the latest data as part of my query. I don't have to wait.
Amazing.
Right? Now, if I'm going to go back to my here, and I'm going to insert 3 data records in here, right? So let's execute the whole SQL script. It's a simple script that it basically entered 3 values, right? And when we looked before, the total number of values that we saw was around 19.
Yep.
Right? Now, you should see that it's 22.
Oh my God. This is
right?
definitely
and this is in
real time. Yeah.
Right? And if let's go back here and the records, let's look at the record ID. So we put in 122, 123, and 124. Those were the 3 records that we put, right? And if I run on the table here, you can see here, I'm going to sort this. You can see 122, 123, 124.
Sweet.
But let's look at the base table. It should still have 19.
Yes.
Right? So it's not writing to the base. So it's basically writing to the view, and then after the timer expires, which we configured as
300 seconds.
It'll then write to the base table. So this basically gives the customer that they're able to bring the data, and this is faster than the batch load. We are seeing this, and it also brings in all the enterprise grade properties. Now, customers can play with them more. They want to do deletes. They want to do shallow deletes, object sync, schema drift, all of that this can handle.
Love it. So thanks so much for the demo. I think it's really powerful to see how simple and easy now Snowflake customer can leverage everything great about SuperPipe and with a Snowflake native app. So I want to switch gear a little bit to going back to day one. So how did Informatica get started with Snowflake? What are the features that really attract Informatica to use Snowflake we haven't covered about?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we are one of the elite partners, and we have been a lead partner for 6+ years, right? Thanks to the partnership, right? And we have a number of certifications from Snowflake. More than what is that we have a number of joint customers that we have enabled through our partnership. And the integrations that we have built has been leveraged across us, we have about hundreds of joint customers. And not only that, the more than 90% of the customers that we have use our cloud SaaS-based intelligent IDMC platform, and then they leverage the connectors, the integrations that we have built, right? And we have to do more, right? And we are doing more. We have to do more. Of course, customers will have new use cases, and with generative AI and everything, there's definitely an exciting future for our partnership.
Yeah, what a fantastic partnership. I was also about to ask, what features on Snowflake on the roadmap you are most exactly looking for. So I'm thinking ML, AI is already being covered. What are some other features you think about?
In terms of where we are, some of the areas that we are looking for is around governance, right? Because how can we integrate
the horizon,
and how can we integrate with that? That's another area that we are looking into. Our 3 main motives in how we are looking at what we want to build continuously for the roadmap. One is that we want customers to be able to have the least entry to onboarding onto Snowflake, right? Not from, say, when I say onboarding is about getting the data into Snowflake quickly and being able to quickly onboard onto Snowflake. So this is where we provide with our connectors, we want to build there. And we want to build more, like what we did with EDI and SuperPipe. We are looking for more and more opportunities to build more. And then so kind of the lower barrier to entry for customers. Then the second part that we want to do is building we kind of have a persona-based approach on our platform. So how can the personas, and when we have a persona-based approach, the whole idea behind this, how can these personas scale really fast? Because, let them be data stewards, data governance, right? Or data analysts, how can they understand the data much more quickly, or kind of have a clear understanding of the lineage, right? Where is the data coming from and then into Snowflake? How can they ensure that the data on Snowflake is adhering to their data quality needs, right? Or to their data management needs, right? I think we will constantly try to innovate in these areas, and we're building, we've built some cool solutions, and then we want to look at, hey, how can we build more things that are probably native, and how can we go from there?
This is great. So for people who want to learn more about Informatica, where shall they get started?
Thanks, Phoebe, for asking that question. We've already written some blogs, right, on both on EDI and also on SuperPipe. Here are the QR codes that they can go to. And also, if they want to know more about the joint solutions that they have built, which we couldn't cover in given the time that we had today, they can always go at the page that we have where we have posted all our Informatica solutions as well. And if they still have more questions for us, they can always contact us, and one of us will reach out to them and try to answer their question, right? And we have more coming at our Informatica World in Vegas. This is on May, and we would be delighted to host them there.
Fantastic information. Rajeev, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thanks, Phoebe. Thanks for having us here. I really enjoyed talking with you.
To learn more about companies are building on top of Snowflake, go to developers.snowflake.com and be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.